How do you want to be seen in the world? How do you build these relationships with countries like Canada?
Yeah, so kind of if you look at the way that if you ever see an atlas, it's literally like has unfolded the world flat. And when you look at it like that, Ireland is literally at the center of it. So we are geographically a very small island. So we have a population roughly that of British Columbia and a geographical area about that of New Brunswick.
I actually thought it was a bigger population.
It's only slightly bigger. It's
6
only
million?
slightly bit bigger. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's small, but we have a diaspora of over 75 million. And that's just people who openly declare their affiliation with Ireland. So we're quite globally focused anyway, because our people are truly all around the world. But also, you cannot be a nation that size and cut yourself off from the world. It doesn't make any sense. So diversification and trade has been at the heart of the way that we have approached our foreign policy since we gained our full independence and our capacity to do so. So we have, in the Global Ireland Strategy, it was set up with the objective of doubling our impact and our diplomatic footprint around the world over the lifetime of the strategy. So the strategy is actually up this year, but we are developing a new one and we will be building on that. So hopefully I'll get to tell you about that later on this year. And it's interesting in terms of the strength of our interest in and relationship with Canada, which predates all of the current situation. So we had that commitment that we would double our diplomatic footprint, and the consulate here in Vancouver was one of the very first new missions that were set up under the Global Ireland Strategy. So it was established here the very next year after the strategy was published. But we also opened a consulate in Toronto in 2022. So we didn't double our presence here, we tripled it. And that's really indicative of the depth of the capacity for trade and engagement that we see here. And as William said, Canada is not just geographically vast, but vast in terms of potential and of the resources that are here. And one of the things, only 2 weeks ago, there was a delegation from the European Union's, the European Union's ambassador to Canada was over here to visit. A huge part of what the visit was about was raising awareness of Horizon Europe, which is a big research fund that is available in the EU and Canada that can now access, but also talking about critical minerals. So Canada, if you only look at the area of critical minerals alone, everybody in the world is going to be beating down Canada's door looking to trade with you because things are here in Canada that we need to run the technology that the modern world requires. And the EU has a new critical mineral strategy that is entirely focused on, okay, we need to build engagement with people who have these particular critical minerals. So even if you look at that one particular thing alone, there is such a depth of engagement possible there. But to go back to the Global Ireland side of it, that is, we don't have those. So we need our trading partners to do that. So really what Global Ireland is about is expanding on, or not even expanding on, but more capitalizing thoughtfully in a way that we didn't before about our greatest strength, which I have always said is our people. We have people all around the world who are totally embedded, and William, you're a prime example of this, who go to a new country and become a citizen of that country, become a contributor to the economy, to the community, to being a true success story in the place that they are and still remaining totally Irish. And I think Irish people do being a dual citizen better than anybody else in the world. And so when we go to other countries, we have these people who are totally embedded in the place that they are, that we have as the first point of contact. And so the Global Ireland Strategy really was a dream, because all it did in some ways was formalize something we've done informally for centuries. And our people-to-people engagement is at the heart of everything that we do.